Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to Two Nigerian Women. My name is Ibukun.
Hi everyone, my name is Abidemi and welcome back to another episode. How's the year been so far for you? I know we're still in the beginning of the year, but it just feels like January has gone on forever. That's how
It's
I
because of everything that is going on. That's why. That is
feel.
why. And we'll be talking
January
about
is 40 days and 5 weeks. Believe it.
eh? January is 40 days and 5 weeks.
40 days and 5 weeks. You better believe that.
Okay, wait. We'll get to that in a second. But the title of the video is Exposure. And we're going to talk through everything that's been going on in the first few weeks of January. But before we do that, YouTube tells us that you like what we're putting out, but you're not subscribing. Why? But why? Why? Please do
Okay.
subscribe. Subscribe to our channel, and what we will do in return is create more content that hopefully speaks to you or someone you know in terms
Yep.
of what's going on in their life. We know people are lonely out there and they lack friendship, and by us sharing the conversations we have as friends, hopefully that would keep you will keep some company for you whilst you find friends of your own and have good conversations, healthy conversations with them. So please subscribe to Two Nigerian Women. Okay, Sissy, let's go straight into it. Exposure.
Yes.
What in the world is happening? It's like someone put a bomb under a truth vessel and it has gone off, but it's going off like fireworks. It's all of a sudden big explosion, there's tiny explosions here and there, then all of a sudden, boom. What's going on?
For me, I think it's the chain reaction. Like I don't know. I think 2024 has just started crazy.
Gee.
Like proper crazy.
Hmm.
If it's from the issues that have gone on, it's almost like we're going into another war. That's how it
Mm.
looks. That's how it feels. That's how everything is. The cost of living crisis is going up. There's train strikes. There's the nurses. There's the teachers. What else? There's the energy bills. There is the whole thing that's happening in Christendom. There is the Cat Williams interview that has kind of like gone off and set up little fires. There is then it now takes us back to the interview that Mace had a couple of years ago. No one was listening. That was during lockdown, has now brought us forward to this. And I'm not
Hmm.
sure if Mace made reference to what Kat said or Kat made reference to what Mace said, but the dots are beginning to add up. And it's a weird dynamic that's going on. Seriously. It is weird. And it's really hard to stay on topic. And then there's stuff that's also happened in Nigeria. There was a bomb blast. I
Hmm.
don't know if it's I don't know, dynamite bomb blast, call it whatever you want, but a couple of people, we don't know what numbers, but having said that, if Nigerian government say 5 people die, multiply that 5 by 5, then you know the exact number. So a
Hmm.
couple of people have died, and it happened in Ibadan, which is an ancient city of Nigeria. Ibadan, or your
Hmm.
state, one of the oldest cities that is in Nigeria. That's happened. We're still having that conversation. Then we're having our president, the person that is supposed to be the president, moving a lot of things from Abuja to Lagos. And
The
then there have been
person that is
issues.
supposed to be president. What are you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, my
Hang
president.
on.
And then he's moving a lot of things from Abuja to Lagos. Abuja is the capital of Nigeria, and it is strategically placed there. In fact,
Yes.
when they were trying to find the center of Nigeria, my dad was one of the pilots that flew to do the circumnavigation of the center of Nigeria. And there's a spot in Abuja. And it's done on purpose because you don't want, if the former capital was Lagos, you don't
Hmm.
want people coming in, attacking, because we have the sea. But it's easy,
Yeah.
Abuja, any enemy comes, they have to fly over other states, so you can tell. So that is a
Hmm.
strategic location. So
Listen
why
for
is he
the
moving?
future.
A couple of days ago, we heard that he moved the Central Bank of Nigeria, some departments to Lagos. And then we've now heard that Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, is moving to Lagos. And they moved from Lagos to Abuja 2002, finally, or 2001. And now they're moving back to Lagos. Make it make sense. Lagos is oversubscribed, chaotic. There is nothing, smokes and mirrors. There's a lot of things going on. Too much traffic, too many people in a small place. In fact, we have too. Oh, I don't even want to begin.
Don't
When
begin.
people I was
Nigeria
in
is a
Lagos.
long story. Nigeria
I
is a
was in
long
Lagos.
story.
I was in Lagos when the capital moved from Lagos to
Mm,
Abuja. I
mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, traffic is going to be over.
Ah, no, no,
Wrong.
no.
Traffic
No.
stayed, and now it's going to get
Mm.
worse. So too
Mm.
many people are jostling for little space. There's a lot of I don't even know. It's not even
Okay,
what it used to be. So there's
okay.
just
So
too
let's
much
not go down
going
Nigeria's rabbit hole. Let's talk
on. No,
about
but
the
we
explosion
are
going
two
on the
Nigerian
world
women.
scene. We
God, we
are,
are
we
two
are,
Nigerian women. We are
we are, but
affected
we
by
don't live in Nigeria right
family.
now.
Yeah,
We
but
don't
we
live
have
in
family
Nigeria
that
right
stays in
now.
Nigeria.
No, and
Seriously.
I do as well. No, 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 no. Let me refocus. What I mean, and let me qualify before anyone jumps into comments and starts chatting what they shouldn't. I am
Mm.
talking specifically about what is being exposed right now, as opposed to Nigeria's political state, which is a minefield. And you know what, Sissy, we'll dedicate an episode to it so that you can then,
Oh,
you
I
know,
forgot to mention there's also been a lot of series of kidnapping in Abuja, people from homes being kidnapped, families. So yeah.
we promise that will be our next episode. I'm not sidelining it, but what I want us to focus on is, and let's start with Nigeria before we then move to, if you will, other global exposures, is what has
Mm.
happened recently with the BBC Africa stream doing
Expose.
a full documentary on a gentleman that has since died. I'll call him a gentleman because that's the best I can refer to him as based on the allegations currently out there. And the outcry from people who are supporting him. His name
Mm.
was TB Joshua. Now, this man was a stylized prophet that my first encounter was him trying to predict who was going to win an election in the States years ago. And it was
Mm.
very funny because the person he predicted did not win, didn't win. Anyways, the point is, I paid no mind whilst I was in Nigeria to this gentleman's profession whilst I was there, but he was thriving. And this is one thing I think we as humans tend to do because we ignore certain things in life. It does not mean it does not exist, and it is not perpetuating what we would not necessarily agree with. So you ignoring it is not doing anything to it, is the point, right? Now, in this world we are now living in, this brand new 2024, people are choosing not to ignore, they are exposing. A lot of people came out to accuse him of inappropriate
Behavior.
situations, some sexual abuse, some, I will call it pastoral abuse. So people he was responsible for spiritually, he abused them mentally, verbally, physically, and in
Like
an emotion, every that is available. This man allegedly did it all. Of course, he is not alive. He cannot defend himself, right? Against that, right? But a lot of people are speaking on his behalf, like they were there. They are accusing the people that have accused him.
discrediting. I think the word to use is discrediting.
They are discrediting the people. Oh, camera, come back into focus. There you go. They are discrediting the people that have accused him of years of abuse. Now, the weird thing with this gentleman, he recorded everything. He recorded everything. Now, the claim is the abuse they suffered must definitely be recorded. But the church, which is now being run by his wife, I'm sure will never, ever, ever hand over those videos as they should in a court case, which can only happen in Nigeria. But we know where Nigeria is. Like I said, we'll do a whole episode on Nigeria and talk through our wonderful motherland. But the point is, in this year of exposure, like you said, I think earlier on, this is the beginning because the firework, the big one that has blown, those little fires it has lit
Yeah.
everywhere, it will all come out. It will all come out. Whether it is recorded or not, it will come out. Now, I think I mentioned in a previous episode, those of us having this conversation, you and I having this conversation, we're not lily white. But the point is, we have not placed ourselves in that point of power and position. Even this discussion we're having here, we're not looking at it to influence anybody. We are talking our own. You and I are just having our normal chat. If we were not recording it, this will be the chat we are having. So we're not necessarily doing it to influence you. You're just listening in on a conversation two friends would have anyway. Now, the point is, I am not looking to judge him. I'm just sorry for him if he's indeed guilty of everything he has done, because there's a many VVVs IP section in hell for people like him. Straight up. And if he did not repent in his last moments before he died, devil has welcomed. Yeah, in fact, the party was big. The point of where we are going now is take heed lest ye fall. Nothing you do or I do is hidden. Nothing. One day it will come out. So use your head. Think correctly. Common sense is not that common. So in that sense, go and buy wisdom. Buy wisdom by listening. Buy wisdom by reading. But if you decide you are going to participate in nonsense, do not be shocked when nonsense comes to participate with you. That is my view on what's going on in Nigeria in terms of the exposure. Do you have a view on that before we go to the other parts of the world where rocket bombs of exposures?
I actually didn't watch the documentary. I'm just really, really fed up about so many things. And call it whatever you want. I definitely know that there's no innocence. Whoever is trying to defend the indefensible, there's nothing innocent about so many things that have gone wrong. So that's my take. I'm not really interested in him. I have never been interested in him. I doubt if I'll ever be interested in him. It is what it is, and people need to open their eyes and see the light. And whether you want to defend from now to tomorrow, people from all walks of life cannot come out and be saying the same thing, and you're calling them liars. How dare you? And you have people that are saying that, why are they just talking now? How dare you? People don't choose when to react. There are a lot of people that have gone through loss and did not start. We suffered a very, very sad loss in my family, and we're having the after effects of that loss from yesterday or before, like recently. And this is something that happened over a year ago, and you have someone that's still very, very raw and rough about it, even till this morning. So you cannot have people, and there are people that are dealing with it in different varying ways of loss. You cannot have something happen to someone and you're telling them, why are they just speaking up? How dare you? The irony is that people have been speaking up since, but they've been shut down, they've been oppressed, they've been intimidated, they've been tormented, they've been locked up for speaking their truth. So you cannot say, why are they just talking now? They have been speaking. You just didn't want to listen, but because it's on a larger scale now, you're trying to water it down, almost making it seem, oh, they're trying to tarnish somebody's image. How dare you? Whoever you are, how dare you? How dare you? It's not easy for these women or these individuals to come out and speak their truths. Two truths can coexist, no matter how senseless it might look to some of you Georginas out there.
Georginas.
So that's my take.
And George.
I'm just fed up, and I'm just tired of people almost trying to trivialize people's pain and hurt. When are we going to stop doing that and stop making people into some kind of god that they are not? That's just my own. I'm just tired.
You've said it. But you see, this is the thing, because how best to say, like I said at the beginning, I genuinely paid him no mind. I saw him randomly once on a news channel trying to predict who would win the US presidency. And I was like, please, this one is a joker. But that did not stop him from doing what he wanted to do. So there is that side of the Georginas, like you said, who come out to judge after the fact. And there's a side of those of us who choose to ignore. But then when it happens, you're like, he still went on to do this. It's fascinating how life works in terms of you choosing to be ignorant and those who are genuinely ignorant, full stop. But yeah, how dare they? Anyways, look, God is the ultimate judge. It's we unfortunately are the audience listening in on the exposure, not because we necessarily seek it out. It's just plastered everywhere right now. That being said, there is trouble in the world of entertainment, and
Amen.
the glamorosity of the central of it appears to be all evil, known as Hollywood. I'm not judging, I'm stating fact here. Fact. What came out of the Cat Williams interview? First of all, the guy is hilarious. Hilarious. But it's
I
hilarious
haven't even watched the
without
interview.
integrity.
Mm.
Sissy, you need to watch these things. I know you are busy. Well, not even watch, because some people, some people got offended that it has so many views when it's over 2 hours long. That why are people spending all that time watching it? I didn't watch it. I listened to it whilst I was doing my work. I was multitasking. But the point is, where this guy went so right in his conversation on that interview was giving perspective, because it cannot be accused of not trying to stay on the side of truth in that interview. A lot of
Mm.
people have come with rebuttals and so on and so forth. But if you are a discerning person and you listened in on that interview, you will come to realize a lot of that guy was not lying. He was not lying. God.
We have to give credit. We have to give credit to, what's her name? The girl, the lady that was dating. Oh dear, I can't remember. I'm having brain fog. Yeah, it's just been very,
Oh,
very funny.
Pop Daddy, Cassie,
Yes, yes,
Cassie.
we have to give credit to her
Yeah,
because she started this conversation. She
she did.
started it.
She
For
did.
me, I think to a certain extent, we need to encourage young women that have decided to speak up. Not speak up
Mm,
because of monetary gains, it's because they are beginning to find that they have the wind beneath their wings.
mm,
And it is very important to have supportive partners, because I don't think if she was on her own, she would have had the boldness to say it. I think the person that she's with has encouraged her, has enabled, and also given her
mm,
that confidence, because there was also that phase of her looking very worn out and almost like shaved head and looking very
mm,
sad. I didn't even know that she had any personality to her.
mm.
She just looked, she just, no, seriously. I just felt she was just some random girl that was just there. But she
Mm,
has been able to show that she's not just there, and she has a good head on her shoulders, and she has
mm,
can hold her own. And I think we need to give it to her, because she started this process, and which seemed quite silly in December, very just out of just, it was just giving a slight reference. Like
mm,
it
mm,
wasn't that important. And then a cat comes up, and then there's a whole boom. And then you
mm,
have Mace. That's why I'm not sure if he said it before or after, but Mace saying, I said it, or people calling out that Mace said this. Excuse me. Mace said this in 2020. And then we're
mm.
here, 2024. 4 years it's taking us to get to this point.
But do you know what
And
I
that's
find
one thing.
interesting?
Something can travel all around the world, but the truth will remain the truth.
It will, but do you know what? Because May saying this in 2020, I never heard about anything about that.
He was basically asking about his back catalog. He doesn't have access to it,
To
and
it, which
he's
is
not
from
getting
that.
money from it. Yes, he's
I
not getting
want
money
to
from
point
it. He
out
also
what.
called out.
Mm,
He called out the man that was supposed to be the preacher to speak on his behalf, and he kept mute. And then so he kind of like said,
I
"Well,
see.
I really don't see you
That's where
as
the
somebody."
story combines. I
Yes, I don't
see.
think that's, but all that was swept on the carpet. But you have to understand also that it was almost about that time that he handed over his church to his daughter.
Hey, okay, wait. Before we go there,
Let's
let me highlight. Let's come back one step or two. Okay, Mays said it, and I'm sure it's somewhere on the YouTube streets, so to speak.
yes,
That interview? Now, the
yeah.
platform that Cat Williams did that interview on was not that well known. It had a good following. It was less than 1 million followers.
No, no, no. It is well known. It's just because I'm not really interested in Black American like entertainment, all of that.
point. It's not well known globally.
Okay.
Before the interview came out, the guy who did the interview acknowledges that this one interview has blown up his channel. And I'm not
Oh,
saying he is not popular. It wasn't well known globally, but I think it was time. It was time because the way this has spread like
okay.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't. I haven't. It's actually almost 3 hours. I didn't even know.
Exactly. So let us acknowledge the channel. We didn't interview Cat Williams. We don't know who he is. He doesn't know who we are. Fine.
Mm.
It's Club Shay Shay. It's a podcast. It's a guy who is a former, I think, NFL player who started
Yeah.
podcasting and so on and so forth. He was not
Mm.
known globally. This man came on, and I don't know when it was recorded, whether it was end of last year or even beginning of this year. This man
It
named
was
Cat.
recorded 2 weeks ago, so it was beginning of this year because we
Okay.
to the yeah, it's about they said 2 weeks ago, so beginning of this year.
No, as
Sorry.
in when it was recorded. If they recorded it before Christmas, because we know
Oh
how
yeah,
these things
yeah,
work. We don't know when it was
true.
recorded, but it was released beginning of January. And the way this has spread like wildfire is because of certain known global personalities that were mentioned in this.
Mm,
And it
mm.
was the timing of it to be honest with you, it amuses me. And it amuses me in not haha, but as in the way
Sure.
when yeah, shock. There you go. It shocks me more than amuses. It shocks me because the way truth needs to be married with timing is critical. Because Mays spoke this almost 4 years ago. Not much attention was given to it, but the
Mm.
timing of 2024, which is why, in my opinion, more will come out because this is a year of truth more than anything else, and not
It is a year
objective truth.
of not green for anybody. It's a year of not green. You can see they're not green for anybody.
Yeah,
But
I
he
don't
said
like
that
now.
that you don't have to like it. It is what
It's
it
not
is,
for me
sister.
to like.
But,
To be fair, it's not for me to
but,
like.
seriously,
Yeah.
Mace has been someone that people have almost like ignored because
Mm.
they feel, why did you leave the game? Why did you leave the game? You should have stayed in the game. So you missed out. Why do you want money? Why do you want to profit from the game when you don't want to be in the game? So they've almost like
It's a valid
rubbished him.
question. It's a valid. Why does he want his back catalog? I thought he had given his life over to God. He was now a pastor and whatnot. But anyway,
Yes, you know,
that's between him and
actually, he's not the only one. There's another guy that who I really like. He's now a Muslim preacher, and he
ah.
kind of turned away from all of that. I'll find out his name, and yes, son, you know him. But I don't think he wants to. He used to be under Puff Daddy's label as well, but he's turned
Oh,
away. He
okay.
doesn't want to do all of that. So I don't even think he's
Mhm.
benefiting from it. So people are almost like, why do you want that? So it's almost like people were siding with Puff Daddy, but now I
No
don't
one
think
is
you
on
can
our
side.
side. No one is on
Hmm.
our side. But it's another
Hmm.
indication of the same people who hype you, build you up. They'll be there when they see you coming down, and they'll be saying,
Yeah,
"Why did you do
laughing
that?"
at you as well. It's almost like now you have people going and looking at pictures and videos from all the events that Puff Daddy has had to see who was in it.
So that being said, TD Jakes was among those named, and it was sad for me, really sad,
Not for me,
really,
because I
really,
never
really,
even
really
held
sad.
him. Nah.
It's not about holding him in esteem. The fact is, whether or not you liked Paul the apostle, he did what he did for God that you have never achieved and might not be able to achieve in your lifetime. It's not about
Mm-hmm.
whether you like them. The point is, this man proclaimed himself as a man of God and did works that impacted you in some shape or form, whether or not you are even aware of it. In some shape or form, I still watched what was it? Woman Thou Art Loose, the movie. That impacted me. I didn't realize until years later he wrote it, produced, and so on and so forth. Now, the point of the matter is, from the little that I can see of his life, he is definitely a Christian. Where it appears he went wrong is about populist popularity culture. That's where it appears. He started being associated with certain people, Puff Daddy is named amongst his associates, and it
Let's
appears co-signed. It appears, I'm not confirming or denying me, I don't know anything. It is what the exposure has brought out now. It
mm,
appears he co-signed on it by his appearance. So not that they saw him do it, though some people claim they saw. They has co-signed by being present at some of those industry parties on Puff Daddy's behavior. It's not such a ridiculous name, Puff Daddy, if you think
mm.
about it. Anyways, the point is he was there. Being physically there in a court of law does not mean you are guilty. But in the court of the world, he is guilty.
Court
And
of
it
public opinion, he's guilty.
sorry, say again.
Court of public opinion, he's guilty.
Exactly. In the court of public opinion, he's already been pronounced guilty and is about to be executed. I am concerned for him, his welfare, and I'm praying for him. Not because I believe he's innocent, but I believe he has indeed done some good, a vast extent of good for God's church. Whether he did it for himself or for God is between him and God, not between us and him. We're not the ones that are going to judge him and try and sentence him to where he needs to go. The point of the matter is, take heed lest ye fall. I think in the previous episode, I shared what I was listening to at a point at the beginning of the year. If your life was played on an LED screen in church, in your mosque, if you're a Muslim, in whatever temple you decide to worship in, if your life
Mm.
was put in 4K, high definition sound, all your innermost thoughts, actions were displayed, would you be able to sit in that? In fact, would you attend that day? Would they see you for dust? I doubt it. Most of us would say, actually, I don't want to see that myself. Some people will say, oh, yes, I'm righteous. Let us see your video. Bring it out. Put it on YouTube. Let's see how righteous you are. And this is not condemning you. This is pointing out to you, no one is above being brought down. There will be something. Show that video. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm not daring you, but it's in your best interest not to show any video of your life, because they will take the smallest detail and magnify it. TD Jakes, just by confirmation of video, was said to be at those parties. They're already ruining the man's life.
I don't. I'm doing the man's life. How I've not really followed anything. I
Um,
just that one thing. There's been a lot of things out there.
you don't need to follow. Not everything needs to be seen. So
I've been very busy. I'm trying to
he's
make
feeling
money.
the heat from the little of
Hey,
his response. He's feeling the heat. He's not being prosecuted legally for anything, as far as we know, but he's definitely been judged in the court of public opinion. The point
oh my.
is, let us summarize. By the way, subscribe, and we'll give you more content. But please, the point is here, exposure works both ways. As they say, when you point one finger at someone, there are at least three pointing back at you. See these three here? They're pointing
Mm,
back at you. So before you take out, this is the Bible, the speck in someone's eye, take out the log of wood that is in
yeah,
yours.
yeah.
The exposure that is going on needs to happen. It needs to happen because nothing is hidden under the sun. Solomon said it in exact nothing. Nothing is hidden under the sun. It has to happen because in this time we live in right now, the Bible tells us things will come to light. You need to know God for yourself. You need to be intentional and not just be passive. You're just passing through this life, thinking everything is okay with the world if it is okay with you. My friend, check yourself. Oh, check yourself. That's all I have to say, Sissy. What about you as you close us out?
I'm just. I don't know. I never really hold these people in this thing. So I'm indifferent. I think that's just it. So I'm
Mm,
indifferent, but there are people like me that are quite indifferent because I just don't have the headspace to handle all that. Yeah,
mm.
people can sort themselves out. But anyway, it was nice hanging out with all of you. Please like, share, subscribe. and have an amazing week. And hopefully, we see you on our next episode. Please let us know if there's anything you'd like us to talk about. And also, it's the new year, so we're going to have Uncle Sue back and to give us our dilemma episode. So watch out for that. And we'll have some live videos as well on TikTok. We are on TikTok, so we'll be having some sessions on TikTok, just generally gisting, responding to questions. You can ask us anything and just hanging out with people that appreciate the content that we bring. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. And here's to a very prosperous 2024.
Wishing you all the best. God bless
Yeah.
and bye.
Bye.